The question is this, brothers and sisters from around the world. The question is this. At what point did we as Africans stop shooting to be number one? At what point did that happen? That we as Africans stopped trying to be number one. We started shooting to be number 14 and number 20. Except when it comes to sex, sports, and being a video vixen. Now that we demand to be number one at. For everything else, we don't even care if we don't make the list. Let me make this very clear so you all understand. When you have out of the world's 300 tallest buildings, your whole continent doesn't even have one of them. What that means is that you are not concerned with being a people. Right now, black people aren't even number 300. Forget not being number one. Forget not being number 14. We aren't even number 300. We're not even number 300. But you want me to tell you that everything is just fine. You want me to regurgitate that lie that everything is just fine and everything is okay. I'm not gonna play along. Everything is not fine. Everything is not right. Everything is not okay. We are behind everywhere we go. Now, for you idiots, cowards, and liars out there who like to say, what's the solution? Because you don't actually want a solution. You're afraid because you already know what the answer is to that question. You know what the solution is, but you're a coward, and you're hoping that somebody will sit up here and tell you that, well, don't worry, everything will be all right. That's for you liars and frauds out there. But I'm going to tell you something. You want to know the reason why the Arabs have the tallest buildings in the world right now? You want to know why? You want to know why the Arabs have the tallest buildings and the Africans have the smallest? Let me say that again to make sure that I have maximum offense. If you want to know why the Arabs have the tallest buildings and the Africans have the smallest buildings in the world, it just goes back to a sense of self-respect. Because Africans are happy, not just comfortable. Africans are happy living under the boot and being oppressed. That's why even after they drive out the Caucasians, what do they end up doing? They let in the Russians, they let in the Asians, they let in the Arabs. Africans are not happy unless someone is oppressing them. Oh, you don't want to hear me say that. Well, truth hurts, damn ya. Africans are not happy or content if someone is not oppressing them. They've been infantilized like children. They want someone to oppress them. They want someone to say, put it down. You don't need that. Get your hands off that. You don't need freedom. You don't need prosperity. I will have the freedom. I will have the prosperity. And I will make sure that you remain safe. Because freedom and prosperity are risky. Don't you think about how dangerous it is building all those skyscrapers? You should do something safe. You should do something really safe. Building skyscrapers is expensive and dangerous. You need to stick to doing something safe. Like getting your ass in them caves and digging with a flashlight for the gold and the diamonds. Something safe. That's what you need to be doing. You let us build the skyscrapers. You do something safe like getting those caves and go digging for the gold. You go mine for that. You go mine for coal. Something safe. That's what you do. We'll take care of controlling the money, power, and wealth. You remain safe. Safely under our boots. That's where you stay. No, nobody else is out there talking like this. They want to sit up here and talk about white folk and the white man. Nobody wants to talk about reality. The reality is that black people, no, not black people, Africans are cowardly today. Africans would prefer to be the bootlick and the lackey and the slave of other people, because taking control of our lives frightens us, frightens the hell out of us. And that's why Africans want to argue with me today that the Burj Khalifa doesn't mean anything. They want to come up with all their damn excuses now, like the International Monetary Fund. That is a canard and an excuse. Why is it that black people today are not doing what Mohammed Mossadegh did in 1953? And we've been over that before, and I've done that broadcast, and nobody has been able to refute it. Nobody has been able to do it because you can't. You are not refuting what Mohammed Mossadegh did because you can't do it. What he did with the Persian Anglo Oil Company, you cannot refute it. Mohammed Mossadegh said, we are nationalizing these refineries that BP had. We are nationalizing them. They are ours now. We own them. Because they've only given us pennies per $100 that they've gotten. No, these are ours now. You have polluted our land. You've polluted our skies. You've contaminated our water. You've impoverished our people. We are nationalizing them. We already paid you for these. In blood and dignity. We already paid you in our lack of self-respect and our complete and total loss of our national dignity. We paid you. We've paid you in blood. They're ours now. This is our right. The mines owned by the De Beers. That should be, the Africans should have been stepped in and taken that over. Here you go, International Monetary Fund. They're ours now. And as a matter of fact, for the International Monetary Fund, what the Africans should be saying is, now, we have held a trial here in Africa where we have put your country on trial for the crimes of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. By our estimations, you owe us approximately $15 trillion. Will you be paying that by money order, check, or cash? What was that? You don't have $15 trillion to reimburse us. Oh, you didn't think that you were subject to the trial, where we're here to let you know that the verdict was against you. The verdict was against you, and we don't owe the International Monetary Fund anything. As a matter of fact, you still owe us $14 trillion. And we are expecting to cash that payment. You will not be getting off with it that easy. We are expecting you to cash those payments. We're expecting to cash your payments to us. You will be paying. One way or another. But you will be paying. I want to ask you all, when was the last time Robert Mugabe talked like that? Oh, I'm sorry. When's the last time John Mahama talked like that? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. When was the last time you heard Africans speak like I just did? Now, the Arabs already did it. Saudi Arabia and Aramco, they told Exxon and the rest of them, out you go. It's ours now. Out you go. It's ours. The American companies that had properties in China, they nationalized them and said, out you go. Why is it that Africa has not done the same thing? You know why? Because Arabs don't want anything from white people. Arabs do not want anything from white people except their money. And Africans are not happy unless there's a white person standing next to them to give them approval. And I'm not just talking about Africans in America, I'm referring to Africans in Africa. They are not pleased unless there is a white person patting them on the head, telling them, you're my good little Negro. Black people do not feel any respect for themselves unless that's the case. None. They feel that they're not human beings if there's not a white person doing that. None. No respect whatsoever. None.